Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll show you how to use AI, like for example the Google applications, to create any kind of test, whether it's a multiple choice, a true or false, or even an essay question. So if you are a teacher, a trainer, or even a student who wants to make a quiz or an exam, so this video is just for you. So let's get started. Okay, first we need to click the Google Chrome. And then as you can see at the top right corner there is a dot here, and then you can scroll that to find a Google Form application. After that, click a blank form to proceed creating an exam. Okay, as you can see the format, there is questions and a title. So in the title we need to put a title of the exam, like for example in my case this is a comprehensive exam. Okay, description of the form, so this is a grade 10 ICT. After that, as you can see in the side, there are icons here that you can click in order to navigate the exam. So let's click the text in order to add another description. Category 1, which is a multiple choice question. So this is a test 1 multiple choice. Actually, I have created already an exam in my Microsoft Word so that I can easily drag and drop or copy and paste the instructions and the exam questions. Okay, let's proceed to the question of the exam. So let's copy the first question here in our Microsoft Word and then paste it in the first question here in our Google Form. Okay, so this type of question is a multiple choice, so let's select a multiple choice category and then let's add the options. There are 4 options, so let's add 4 options as well in our Google form. Okay, so let's fast forward. Okay, so after that we need to click required if you want that this question needs to be answered. So let's enable that. Okay, we're done creating our first question. So now let's proceed to the second question. We need to add another question table, and then the process is still the same. Copy the question in our Microsoft Word and then paste it in our Google Form. Okay, let's fast forward until we are done making our first category of the exam, which is the multiple choice. And then after that, let's proceed to the true or false category of our test question. Okay, we are done creating our first set of question, and now let's proceed to the true or false. Let's click this add section to add another section of our test question. So let's put the instruction on the second set, and all we have to do is just to copy and paste the question and the instruction on our Microsoft Word into our Google Form. Okay, now let's add another question for our true or false category. And the selection is we need to choose the checkbox icon for the true or false category. And then after that, if you want that this question needs to be answered, just click the required And after that, let's start creating our first question for our true or false. So let's copy the first question and then paste it in our Google form. And then our option, let's change it into true and false. Okay, after that, let's duplicate the first question in order to have the same settings for our second question. The process is still the same. Let's copy the question on our Microsoft Word and then paste it in our Google form. So let's fast forward the process. Okay, we're done creating our second part of the exam, which is the true or false. And now let's proceed to the third part, which is the essay type. So let's add another section for the third part, which is the essay. So still the process is a copy and paste. So let's put the instruction and the description of the exam. And then after that, let's add the questions for our essay type. So the category here is we need to select the paragraph type of our response so that the students can answer it in a paragraph form. So let's copy the question and then paste it in our Google form. So still, if you want that this question is need to be required to answer, so let's check the required. And now let's fast forward. Okay, so we're done creating our third part of the exam, which is the essay. So now let's proceed on how to navigate the exam for the students. So let's click the response button in the upper part. And then as you can see, there is a response here, and then let's go to the settings so that we can manipulate the exam. But before that, let's add the answer key of each questions. So as you can see in the lower part of each question, there is an answer key. So you can put a points and add an answer. So let's click the correct answer and then add what is the right answer of each question. Let's copy the answer and then paste it here and then save. Okay, so let's add the rest of the question until we got it all correct. Okay, so after you set the correct answer, just click the done. And then that's it. You inputted what is the right answer and then point per questions. So all you have to do is just to add the answer key on each question. And then add also the point per questions. Okay, so we're done setting our answer keys for our questions. And now let's proceed on how to navigate the settings of our questions. But for that, we need to publish it or save our test question in order to save the file. So just click the publish button and then change the setting. So make it anyone with the link so that all students can receive the test question. So publish, and then that's it. You have the test questionnaire now in your Google form. So all you have to do is to copy the link and then send it to your students. So, okay, so let's proceed to the settings. So as you can see, make this a quiz. So you need to enable it so that you have the settings for your test question. So you can select immediately after submission for the releasing of grades or later after a manual review. So in my case, there is an essay type, so I will choose the later after a manual review because I will check first the essay before sending the scores. So there is also a missed question so that the students are informed if there are questions that has no answers. So there is also a default point view. So you need to collect an email for each of the respondents. So responders input. So you can also send the responders a copy for their response. So it is also need to allow the response editing so that the students can edit their answers. So this is the important part. So limit the answer to one response. So you can also show the progress bar. And then if you want that your question needs to be shuffled, so you can also enable the shuffle mode. So you can also view the result summary for the students. So it is also important that you do not disable the autosave for the students. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.